right, welcome back to another post-Monday press conference. It's a little different locale here since it's raining outside. Didn't feel like standing in the rain for the video, so we're under a little bit of an overhang here. But Colten Bartholomew, Wisconsin football beat reporter here, and I'm joined by Jim Polzin.
Mr. Doom and Gloom.
Mr. Doom and Gloom, Jim Polzin, as he's now known. The big thing coming into this week with the Illinois matchup here for Wisconsin, obviously it's a reunion with Brett Bielema, right? Brett Bielema's down in Illinois now. His team's off to a 2-4 start. Had a great win week 1 over Nebraska at home and been a little choppy ever since. But I think the thing that you say when you look at this Illinois team and being coached by Brett Bielema is it looks similar to a Bielema offense in the sense of what he had at Wisconsin, where it was 2 tight ends. They were trying to run the ball. But I think the thing that they do a little bit more at Illinois is that they're running the ball with the intent of throwing it downfield. It's a lot of play action pass. It's a lot of the stuff that, you know, some of the better Wisconsin offenses in the past have been able to do. But I think the biggest thing, Jim, and you can give me your thoughts too, but their running attack, it's multiple guys, but it's really led by this offensive line and this idea of, hey, we're going to make you defend the whole field. And it's really kind of blending what Brett Bielema knows and his identity versus some more modern things here in the college game.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while for him to form a true identity down there. I mean, year one is always going to be a little bit of a feeling out process. We've talked about this before, but I was a little bit higher on Illinois than I think most people was, in part because they had so many seniors come back. And I think your argument was, well, those,
not great seniors.
Returning players may not be great, and so what does it matter? But I think we've seen they've at least been competitive. It was interesting talking to guys today from around here, a couple that grew up in the state. I just wanted to know what their impressions of Brett Bielema were, and I think they think he's an interesting character, which is probably a nice way of describing it. But that storyline has become. I think it had potential to be a pretty big storyline, but the overriding sentiment of this team now is that it's a struggling team that's trying to get back on track. I don't think Brett Bielema and reunion matters much to them.
No, it really doesn't. And when you talk about what's going on with this Wisconsin team, we've got the issue of Mertz and if he can play. We saw him get hurt against Michigan with a rib injury. Had to go to the hospital for that. He was cleared Saturday night by the doctors. He says he sounds pretty confident that he's going to give it a go and he's going to try to practice this week. Our Abby Schnabel talked to Chase Wolf, who would be starting if Mertz can't play, and he's saying the right things, that he's going to prepare like a starter like he does every week. Regardless of who's under center, Jim, I think for this offense, they've got to run the ball. And it starts up front. The offensive line has not performed well, but it's also the backs. I don't think that some of these backs are hitting the holes in the correct way. I think we're going to see a lot more rotation in the backfield this week, trying to find the person that gives them the best chance with this offensive line, because this offense has to run the ball to be good.
How about Logan Bruss and Tyler Beach showing up in tandem today for a news conference? Like they wanted it that way.
They said they wanted to represent the offensive line, just them two, and they were honest about their struggles and the optimism they have going forward. But it was kind of a sign to me, hey, this offensive line knows they're getting kicked in the teeth right now, and they've got to turn it around. So
I think Beach used the words "draw a line in the sand," right?
Yep.
I think they know. I think they can hear the noise from the outside. The criticism is deserved, certainly, but I think they know that they've got to play better. Beach pointed out, and I'll agree with him here, it's not just the offensive line.
Nope.
It takes 11 guys, and rarely this season have we seen all 11 guys kind of functioning as one.
For sure. So there's going to be a ton of coverage on madison.com all week of this Illinois-Wisconsin matchup. First true road game for the Badgers this year, going down to an opponent's territory, and homecoming for Illinois, so a big weekend down there. Make sure you're on madison.com. You can get subscribed for $1 for 6 months. $1 for 6 months. Make sure you're getting signed up there, and we will be back next week.